Hello everyone, welcome to Sunya IAS and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to talk about soil, and specifically because we are talking about Indian geography, we are going to talk about the soil of India. Now, there are various kinds of soils in India. They have been classified in a certain way. So, as we go around the lecture, we will cover all those soils. So, let's start. The first question, before starting the first question, just a little bit about the course that we are running, which is Revise Entire Prelims Syllabus through 3000 plus MCQs. Now, the prelims is really near. So, I would suggest that if you want to actually go for the prelims revision through these MCQs, you already started. Don't wait till next month and don't even count May as such, because May will be full of anxiety, May will be full of revision through other already existing notes, right? So if you want to attempt a bunch of questions, which are about 3000 questions, and revise everything, then it's better that you do it right away so that you will be able to revise them also, है ना? Because revision is the key. So we have done Indian polity, we have done economy, we have done modern history. In geography, we have already done the physical geography, we have done human geography. Now we're doing Indian geography. We'll do mapping after this. Then we'll do environment ecology, ancient medieval, art and culture, science and tech, and current affairs. So all of that will be done by me. And you can go for this course. The benefit would be that you'll be able to get the PDFs in advance and attempt the question and come to the class only if and when required. So you can contact on this number and visit this website to know more about this course. All right, first question. Consider the following statements regarding alluvial soils. It is formed by the deposition of sediments. It lacks nitrogen, phosphorus, and humus. So, which of the given statements is or are correct? So, alluvial soil is the most important soil, if I were to say, because it covers 40% of the Indian land. ठीक है, how much land does India cover of the global landforms? It covers 7%. So out of this 7%, 40% of our soil is alluvial soil, and broadly it is concentrated in the northern belt. ठीक है, so just see here, थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ी हो गई, wait, I don't want to have any gadbadi when it comes to the map making, right? So, yeah, very crucial details. Okay. So, basically, huh, where is alluvial soil found? Alluvial soil is found in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. And where is the Ganga basin? It starts from here, goes till here, this entire region, है ना? And this region as well, from where Brahmaputra is running. Broadly, this is the alluvial region. Now, overall, because various tributaries are coming to feed Ganga from the southern side as well, and here also various tributaries. There is Manas, there is Lohit from the southern side, etc. So it'll cover overall a broader area. And now when I'm saying again and again saying that rivers are there, so you should understand that rivers have a very major role in creation of alluvial soil. Alluvial soil actually is a depositional soil. Fine. So rivers are agents of erosion. So rivers will erode a landform, be it a mountain, be it any plain, etc. So let's say river is originating from here. It is taking away some or the other sediments, and as it is going on its path, it is constantly depositing those sediments. So that's why alluvial soil is a depositional soil. So first is absolutely correct. ठीक है. Second one, now you might think that alluvial soil is so full of nutrient as such, and yes, this Indus basin also has alluvial soil. So you might be thinking that 40% area and India is so good with soil, so alluvial soil must be having all the nutrients. No, alluvial soil lacks in nitrogen, phosphorus and humus as well. And just apply this common sense. What are the fertilizers that we use? We use NPK fertilizer. है ना? Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So why are we using these fertilizers? We are using them because they are scarce in our soils. ठीक है, be it Punjab, Haryana region or be it this region, we are primarily using NPK fertilizers, and NPK maybe we are using a plethora of N, which is nitrogen. So nitrogen deficiency is a very major problem in our soils. And that's why UPSC has asked questions there and time and again about which plants are good at nitrogen fixation also, right? UPSC has a very proper method of setting up this examination. It's not random. So if you have tracked the previous year questions, you would see that there are questions time and again from various nitrogen fixing technologies, like mycorrhiza is there. Then nitrogen fixing plants are there. So why is it? Because our soils are deficient in nitrogen, right? So both these statements are absolutely correct. So now you would ask that, ma'am, if it's poor in nitrogen, poor in phosphorus, poor in humus, then what is it rich in? What is it good in? Our alluvial soil is actually very well stuffed with potash. ठीक है, potash is very well stuffed in our alluvial soil, as well as lime. So these are some elements which are there in our alluvial soil, but unfortunately it's nitrogen deficit, unfortunately it's phosphorus deficit. So we apply this through fertilizer. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Next, consider the following statements regarding soils. Zonal soils have similar properties as that of parent rocks. Azonal soils are developed by the process of deposition, and limestone soil is an example of intrazonal soil. So which are correct? See, azonal soils, just think about the depositional soil that we talked about, the alluvial soil. Do you think that these rivers which are just flowing and depositing material here, do you think this soil will have anything in common with the parent rock, which is the rock that is present over here? Do you think it will have anything in common? No, it will not have anything in common, because the soil is not originating from the parent rock, and that is what an azonal soil is. So an alluvial soil is also an azonal soil because it has nothing to do with the parent rock. The constituent of the alluvial soil are coming from way far, that is from from Himalayas or from other areas, right? So second is absolutely correct. Azonal soils are developed by the process of deposition. Then what are zonal soils? Zonal soils are those which are having properties similar to their parent rock. So we have various layers, zones of rocks, right? Thickest layer would be this bedrock. Then there would be zone C. There would be zone B. There would be zone A, and there would be zone O. So O, A, B, C, and D, or you can say parent rock as well. So this is what a zonal soil is. And you will see that this zonal soil will have whatever the parent rock is made of, be it mica, be it granite, be it any kind of rock. The soil that is made will display a lot of characteristics of the zonal soil, of the parent soil, because it has been made out of it only, right? So first is correct, second is also correct. Then limestone soil is an example of intrazonal soil. It is absolutely correct. Limestone soil, जिसे हम limestone region को we also call karst region. It's also called karst region. So karst region is affected by chemical weathering, and it leads to dissolution. So karst soils जो है, limestone soils जो हैं, they are intrazonal soils. ठीक है, so here all three are correct. So these three concepts become important, which is your zonal soil, azonal soil, and intrazonal soil. Next, consider the following statements. Black soils are well suited for the cultivation of jute. And cotton is a kharif crop which is indigenous to India. Which of the given statements are correct? So if you know anything about cotton, you would know that cotton was found in Indus Valley civilization, right? In Mohenjo-daro, there was this great bath, and in the great bath, there was this small piece of cotton that was found, right? Other than that, also various proofs of cotton spinning, cotton weaving, etc. are found. So you'd be thinking that where does it come from and where is it grown? So first of all, what is black soil? Black soil is the soil which is made out of igneous rocks, igneous crystalline rocks. So it is a zonal soil. है ना? Downward, it's the igneous rock, and with the weathering of that igneous rock, the black soil is formed. Now, where is igneous rock found in India? Does India have any active volcano? Yes, it has an active volcano, which is Barren Island. But does it have an active volcano in the mainland? No, we do not have any active volcano in our mainland, thankfully. But in previous times, when the Indo-Australian plate was moving northwards, then there was constant volcanic eruption that was happening, and basaltic lava was being deposited on the land. And this entire peninsular region, my dear, is nothing but that basaltic lava, which has now solidified to become black soil. So black soil is well cultivated for cultivation of jute? No. It is well suited for the cultivation of cotton. In fact, it is called cotton soil. It is also called Rager soil. Okay? And why is it called black soil? Because it's black in color primarily. Now, this question has been asked time and again, that which of the following soils have a feature of self-plowing? Self-plowing. What is plowing? When you prepare soil to add seeds to it. So you plow the soil, you make it breathe, and then you add seeds to it. But this soil is so interesting because when this soil gets wet, then it will swell up and be all sticky. But when it dries up, when the moisture dries up, then the soil will shrink. So it's expanding, it's contracting, it's expanding and it's contracting. So movement is already happening automatically. So that's why it is called self-plowing, and its water retention capacity is also very good. Why this particular soil is so good? Because water retention capacity is also very good. Okay, so it's not for jute, it's for cotton, and cotton is a kharif crop which is indigenous to India. Absolutely correct. Cotton is indigenous to India. In fact, since the Indus Valley civilization, we have been exporters of cotton. Okay. Now, what about jute? Jute, you all know, in the Bangladesh Bengal region that is found. But what is the soil that is required for jute? The soil is alluvial. First of all, jute is a very water intensive crop. And second, it is not grown on black soil. It is grown on alluvial soil. So answer is 2 only. Next. Consider the following statements. Crops can survive in black soil during the dry season as it retains moisture for longer periods. Black soil swells and becomes sticky when wet and shrinks when dried. Which of the given statements are correct? So I just told you it's a very easy question. Both the statements are correct. And the second one definitely explains the first one, because crops can survive in black soil because that soil has good water retention capacity. So A is the answer. Next. Consider the following statements regarding red and yellow soils. These soils have been formed by the decomposition of granite and gneiss. In India, these soils are found only on the Deccan Plateau. Which of the given statements are correct? So they are definitely created by granite and gneiss and their decomposition. So first is absolutely correct. And second one, these are found only in Deccan Plateau. What is the rule of only that we apply? that 8 out of 10 statements of only will be incorrect. But here we do not have to go blind, because we know that if, let's say, this is a broad, structure. So this is the area, the Andhra, Telangana, Odisha area, wherein red and yellow soil is found. But it is found in certain patches here as well. है ना? Wherever there are those conditions that are there, then red and yellow soil will be found. And this soil creates deciduous conditions. This is not a very fertile soil, so to say. Now, why two colors and one soil? Because primarily it is made out of granite and gneiss only. But when it is having a lot of content of iron, then it becomes red in color. It's reddish. ठीक है? Ferric oxide जब ज़्यादा हो जाता है, then it becomes a red soil. But when it is hydrated, hydration is a chemical reaction. So when it is a hydrated soil, it becomes yellow. This is why red and yellow soil that way. Fine. So here these soils are found only on the Deccan Plateau would be incorrect. So 1 is the correct answer. A. Next one. Consider the following statements regarding red and yellow soils. The soil is non-alluvial and is made up of such acidic rocks like granite, gneiss and schist. This type of soil is found in area with scanty rainfall and arid climate. Which of the given statements are correct? So first one we already know that definitely it's a non-alluvial soil. Every soil which is not alluvial is non-alluvial. And alluvial is deposited, red and yellow soil is not deposited. It is created, it is a zonal soil. So yes, granite, gneiss and schist se banta hai. But it is found in regions of heavy rainfall and high temperature. ठीक है? Heavy rainfall means there can be no arid temperature at all. So here the answer would be A, one only. Fine. Next. Consider the following statements regarding laterite soils. These soils develop in the area with high temperature and high rainfall. Laterite soils are poor in iron oxide but rich in humus content. So, which of the given statements are correct? Now, laterite soil what is it named after? It is named after the word later. And later is actually not that later that we are aware of. Later actually means basically brick or home. ठीक है? So laterite soils are nothing but bricks. ठीक है? And they are not good for cultivation, that is for sure. So just see the second one. They are rich in humus content would be absolutely incorrect, because laterite soil, they represent bricks only. So they are not good in humus. They are definitely good in iron oxide, but these are the soils which are found in high temperature and high rainfall. And there is so much of rainfall that has happened that all the essential nutrients they have leached. All the essential nutrients they have leached to the downward side, to the downward area, right? And that is what a laterite soil is. And of course, you can imagine that it would never be easy to cultivate this kind of a soil, but still there are some important crops that grow in this leached and laterite soil. Primarily the plantation crops are there, which are coffee. Then there is cashew nut. These are some plantation crops that grow here. So a lot of fertilizers are applied, lot of things, but basically it's to utilize the land that is there under laterite soil that these are employed. Now where would this be found? Just think about high temperature and high rainfall. You would be able to think about the Kerala coast, right? You'll be able to think about the Kerala, the Malabar coast as we call it. And that is the region where laterite soil is found. It is also found in Tamil Nadu, wherein during the northeastern monsoon, the rains come. It's also found in Andhra Pradesh, also found some parts in Orissa. And that's why you see we have a lot of coffee cultivation, we have a lot of cashew cultivation here. So second one is incorrect, first is correct. Answer would be A, one only. Next one. Consider the following statements regarding laterite soils. Humus content is removed by the heavy rains, and these soils are poor in organic matter, nitrogen, and calcium. So, which of the given statements are correct? Both the statements are very easy and easy to understand, that both are correct. That there are very heavy rains, so humus content is leached down, and there is no mineral, there is no as such element which is abundantly there in the laterite soil. It's just iron which is abundantly there in laterite soil, and basically laterite soil is nothing but a brick only. So here C, both 1 and 2 are correct. Next, consider the following statements regarding arid soil. They are sandy in structure and acidic in nature. The lower horizons of the soil are occupied by kankar. Which of the given statements are correct? So, here arid basically means what? Arid means dry. Fine. Arid means dry. So, here arid soils are actually very rich on salt. ठीक है? इनको saline soil से भी confuse कर दिया जाता है. They are very rich on salt. Because there is such scanty rainfall, it's found in the Rajasthan region, in the Haryana region, where there is so scanty rainfall. Rivers are also not flowing. Haryana में गिन चुन के कौन सी लूनी river है बस एक, right? That is also not a perennial river. So the point is that arid soils have a lot of salt. Now, is salt as an element, is it acidic or is it basic? It is basic, right? So although you might think that arid soils are very acidic in nature, they are actually basic in nature. So they are definitely sandy in structure, yes, but they are not acidic in nature. So first is incorrect. And lower horizons of the soil are occupied by kankar, absolutely correct. Just think about the Rajasthan side. When you imagine the Rajasthan side, you will be able to think that the lower area, if this is the soil horizon, if we are digging deep into the land in Rajasthan, we would find thin sand on the top, and as we go down, we will find bigger rocks. है ना? So we'll first come across kankars, then we'll come across boulders, etc. So this is absolutely correct, and there is no guessing in this that it is not suitable for cultivation. Next. Consider the following statements regarding saline soils. These soils are also called reh, usar or kalar. And these soils are deficient in nitrogen and lime. So which of the given statements are correct? Saline soils are basically those soils which there is a layer of salt that is deposited. So this is one step further from the arid soil. And saline soils have this problem that they face capillary action because there is so much of heat. तो होता क्या है that this is your ground level, this is the top. So there is so much of heat that whatever water is here as well is being sucked out by the sun. है ना? Now when it is there on the ground level, so water will evaporate. But can salt evaporate? No. That's why never will be the case that any precipitation, any cloud will have anything anything salty in it. Salt will always be left behind, right? And that is why you see that in the run of Kutch also, run of Kutch maybe there is this whole deposit of salt that is there on the top of the soil. So yes, this is रे, usar और kalar. Saline soils को ये भी कहा जाता है. And they are deficient in nitrogen and lime. They're basically deficient in everything except for magnesium, except for sodium, because these are salts itself. ठीक है? So second is also correct. Now usar word is important. Usar soil means in ancient India, usar soil means a soil which is not fertile. ठीक है, usar soil is not a fertile soil. And urvara soil is fertile soil. ये याद रखना है distinction when it's given one of the first things in NCERT, right? So you need to remember it. Fine. So which would be the correct statement over here? C. Both 1 and 2 would be correct. Next. Consider the following statements regarding PT soils. Statement 1 is they are rich in humus and organic content. And statement 2 is that these soils contain large quantity of dead organic matter. So which of the given are correct? So PT soil is basically like a daldal. Daldal means it's a swamp. So there is so much of water. First of all, water availability is abundant. Then there is heat also. But there's so much excess of these things that it's not able to decompose, right? So there will be waterlogged conditions. So think about it. By your common sense, what would be the region wherein there will be waterlogged conditions? Don't you think the Sundarbans area will be having PT soil, right? This might be having PT soils because there are waterlogged conditions, right? So here, yeah, and it's not as if the West Bengal area has alluvial soil, so it cannot be having PT soil. It has both, right? The upper region has alluvial soil and the lower region has PT soil. Simple as that, right? So first is absolutely correct. There is lot of humus, there is lot of organic content, but they are not good for cultivation because that humus, that organic content is not able to take the nutrients and enrich the soil, right? And second is absolutely correct as well. So A is the answer. Next. Which of the following are the reasons behind soil erosion? Rainfall and flooding, agriculture, cultivation of cover crops, grazing, then intensive tillage and mining. Which of the given statements are correct? Now we have this very strong tendency of choosing all of the above, but read very carefully. Rainfall and flooding, absolutely, they will destroy the soil. Agriculture, we have seen in the Green Revolution how agriculture has impacted soils. Then cultivation of cover crops. No, this will not lead to soil erosion. In fact, this will lead to soil conservation, right? Because if you are cultivating cover crops, you are basically creating a shield to protect the main crop. So, for example, if there is a paddy crop that you are growing, so to protect that paddy crop, you are actually placing another crop around it also, and in the time when the land is empty, you are planting some of the nitrogen fixing crop and these kind of crops which improve the land, right? So cover crops ko cultivate karna would not lead to soil erosion, it would lead to improvement of soil. So third jahan jahan hai usko eliminate karo. A, B and D. It would be eliminated. You would automatically come at the correct answer. But anyway, you just read it. Grazing will of course lead to soil erosion. If overgrazing is done, the grasses will be gone, the shrubs will be gone, so the soil will be impacted. Intensive tillage like in the Ganga Valley, we see intensive tillage, right? So it leads to impact on soil. And of course, mining does not have any positive impact, to be very honest, apart from the economy wala impact. So yes, it will definitely impact the soil. So here C is the correct answer. Okay, arrange the types of soil erosion in order of their occurrence. Rill erosion, sheet erosion, splash erosion, gully erosion. So these are stages of erosion, and just know this. Have you seen a canyon? Have you seen this Grand Canyon in North America on the river Colorado? It's there. It's the largest canyon of the world. What is canyon? Canyon is nothing but the this erosion of soil and erosion by river, right? Colorado River. So canyon is a further form of gully erosion, but of the given options, the worst form of erosion is gully erosion, where if there is this land, then uh, so much of soil has been degraded that it leads to a gully being formed where there is no land at all, right? And in that gully the streams can also start flowing and everything, but gully erosion is not a good thing overall. And gully erosion will eventually lead to ravines being formed, like created by Chambal River, right? So gully erosion. Then less than gully erosion is rill erosion. It's a little thinner than a gully, but then still there is still impact there. Then lesser than rill erosion would be sheet erosion. Sheet erosion is basically that if, let's say, you imagine this in 3D. I'm trying to make however best I can. So if this is a soil profile, this is the topsoil, the one that I'm shading. So if this entire sheet itself, it just goes away because of wind, because of water or whatever. This entire sheet goes away and somewhat like this, very thin. This entire sheet goes away. So then it will be called a sheet erosion. ठीक है, ये पूरा sheet ही निकल आया ऊपर से, so it is called sheet erosion. So it is one step less than the rill, but it's very impactful because when a whole sheet is going off, the entire topsoil is going off, and topsoil is O horizon, which is very good with humus, which is very good on nutrients. So that entire soil is going out, right? So that is never a good situation. So that is there. And then the beginning of erosion is actually splash erosion. Okay, it's a mini form of sheet erosion. So answer would be, it would start from 3, then it would be having 2, then 1, then 4. So D is the answer. These are the levels of erosion. It's even after gully, we will have ravines, then we will have a whole, the canyon only. But these are the 4 which are given in NCERT also. Okay, consider the following statements regarding soil health card scheme. Scheme was introduced by Ministry of Rural Development, and soil health cards are provided to all the farmers at an interval of 3 years. So which of the given statements are correct? Very famous scheme, you should be knowing what it is. Basically, just like you do your checkup, you get your checkup done by doctors every few months or years. Similarly, soils checkup has also is supposed to be done, right? And that will always be an initiative of the agricultural ministry. Why would it be an initiative of the rural ministry, right? So first is incorrect. Second is absolutely correct, that every 3 year, whichever farmer is owning land or tilling that land will be issued a soil health card, that what is the condition of your soil, what are the crops that you should be growing. If it is black soil and you are growing paddy, then it's not a very suitable thing, right? It's a soil draining activity. So you should be going for cotton, you should be going for millets, etc. All right, last question for the day. Arrange the layers of soil from bottom to top according to their soil profile. O horizon, B horizon, C horizon, A horizon. So when you see such an easy question, you don't seem to wait to find out what is the actual question. They're asking you to arrange it from bottom to top, not from top to bottom. Okay, so it will be C, B, A and O, right? So 3, then there will be 2, then there will be 4, there will be 1. Okay, so C is the answer over here. But it's important to know something about each layer as well. So this O layer you understand full of organic matter. Then you talk about this A layer. A layer is actually called the topsoil. A layer is called the topsoil. Then there is layer B. The layer B will be having material which is very fine material from the topsoil also, and it will be having material from C also. right? So it is a transition zone. Okay, it is a transition zone. And then there is C. C will have major aspects of the parent rock. So that is C. Okay, C horizon. And uske niche fir bedrock aa jata hai. So C is the answer over here. So that's all for today's class. Whatever is there in the NCERT, whatever has been asked earlier, we have covered all of that. So I hope you derived some value out of this lecture and you found it useful. This is where we end Indian geography, and next class, from starting the next class, we will be doing mapping, and you will thoroughly enjoying mapping, because we'll do the Indian mapping followed by the world mapping, from which many questions are being asked, right? So do join in in the next class as well. And if you are benefiting from these videos, do let us know in the comments, right? So all the very best. I'll see you all in the next lecture. Bye bye.